Welcome to something to talk about.
Yeah, really loud.
Welcome to something to talk about.
You heard her. Welcome to Something to Talk About. My name is Taco, and we're doing another What's the Difference? And yeah, we're covering Marillion, the singer. Let's talk about the difference. So yeah, if you don't know what this is when I take a character from the Game of Thrones show and compare them to the book counterpart from the Song of Ice and Fire universe. And yeah, I did a poll a little while ago, and I'm just like kind of following the order. It was like Harwin Strong, Lemon Cloak, Marillion. So here we are. And let's just go, man. Let's just move. Let's move. Do that YouTube stuff. All right. Let's talk about the show version. Pain got your tongue? I'm the funniest guy you know. Okay, anyways. In Game of Thrones, the TV show, Marillion whoa, there's that cough. Marillion is played by Emon Elliott. The singer is entertaining and pertains entertaining the patrons of the Inn at the Crossroads when Catelyn and Rodrik Cassel arrive. You guys know what we're talking about? We're talking first book, we're talking first season, and this is like Catelyn went down to King's Landing and now she's on her way back up and she stops at the Inn Crossroads because, you know, you got to say what's up to that family of Heddles. What's up, Heddles? And yeah, and he's like over there playing his wood harp, like blah 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 blah. Yeah, I'm a singer. That's how I sing. He is present when Catelyn captures Tyrion, who's also there, and accompanies them to the Vale of Arryn. By the end of the first season, he is at court of Joffrey Baratheon. Yeah, so he gets in the Vale. He accompanies them all the way until he all the way until Tyrion does his trial on the Vale, and then he kind of like makes his way to King's Landing. All right, cool. So at the end of the first season, he is in the court of King Joffrey Baratheon. Marillion has been brought for the king brought in front of the king for singing a mocking song about Robert Baratheon. In it, he insinuates that the Lannisters are involved in Robert's demise. Yes. For this, Joffrey sentences him to choose between losing his fingers or his tongue. This is one of the first times we see Joffrey on the throne acting like king, and it's one of the first times we're like, ooh, this is scary. Because he's like, which one you want, your fingers or your tongue? Or I could just cut your throat. And it's like, okay, Joffrey's gonna be a scary king. Got it. All right. So Marillion does not make the choice, and he begs for mercy. But mercy isn't in Joffrey's vocabulary. He's like, what's mercy? The king calls for Sir Ilyn and his tongue to be cut from his mouth. Some irony there. Yeah. He's like, Sir Ilyn him. Well, you can't talk, but hey, you don't have a tongue? Yeah, do that. Poor Ellen Payne. All right, let's talk about the book, The Singer. I don't know if you guys remember how much Marillion is in the books. It's one of the bigger characters, like amount of stuff I've ever covered. I am writing my Lynn Corbray at the same time, and that's coming out later in this week. We're kind of doing a Vale week. I didn't plan that; it just happened. And you know what? Marillion had way more than Lynn Corbray. I was like, what? Like, there's a lot. He was in a lot of chapters. All right, cool. Marillion is a singer and musician and handsome young man with a boyish look to him. His sandy hair is long and curled, and he has a wisp of a mustache. The singer has slender form, smooth skin, and a charming smile. The singer's voice is a tenor, strong and sweet, and he also plays the wooden harp. Marillion is vain about his skills and his good looks. He knows he's good. He knows he's all that. I bet he thinks that Carly Simon's song is about him. I'm really funny. Although courteous, He is also arrogant and mocking. And he claims he dislikes violence. Well, you're in the wrong book series, I think. Marillion was in King's Landing for the tourney on Prince Joffrey's name day, and he earned a great deal of silver with his singing due to the tourney. During the tourney, he lost the silver in a bet that Sir Jaime Lannister would win against Sir Loras Tyrell. It looks like a lot of people were betting on that joust. Yeah, that's the same one that the knife was bet on, but of course we don't. I'm not talking about the Valyrian steel knife right now, but that's the same joust that Peter Baelish says that he bet that on. Anyways, whatever. The traveling bard. Well, at the ends of the crossroads, Marillion spots Catelyn and Rodrik Cassel and asks about where they came from and where they are going. Catelyn says they come from King's Landing, and it doesn't say where they're going. The singer tells them that it is his destination for the tourney of the hand. So he wants to go check out the hands tourney. The singer is disappointed when Catelyn has not heard about him and proceeds to attempt to get paid silver from a song. Rodrik, believing that any healthy boy would prefer a sword over a harp, tells him that he might have a couple coppers, but would prefer tossing them down a well than hearing the boys howling, "Oh, I love Rodrik Cassel. I got money, but not for losers." Oh, man. The singer tells how he was made to sing for kings and high lords. Catelyn asks if Marillion has ever played for Lord Tully, and the singer boasts that he has a chamber kept at Riverrun that the young Lord Tully is like a brother. This amuses Catelyn, who knows her brother hated singers, and ever since one betted the girly, like maybe Marillion did that. Also, I'm sure that angered her because she hates it when people think that Edmure is the Lord before Hoster died. This would be before Hoster died. And he's like, "Oh, yes, that Lord, young Lord Tully, he's like a brother to me." And she's like, "Oh, my actual brother?" "He's like a brother to me too, you loser." Why do I keep calling Marillion a loser? All right, attacked on the high road. After Catelyn captures Tyrion Lannister at the end, Marillion rides with them to the Vale of Arryn, intending to make a song about the adventure. "I rode to the Vale of Arryn, blah, blah, blah." I'm not a singer, all right? The party is attacked by members of the Vale mountain clans on the high road. Dang it. Marillion hides during the fight and joins Tyrion, and Tyrion joins Marillion in his hiding place. Marillion whines that he is a singer and wants no part in the fight, but Tyrion forces his way into the hiding place. Marillion shrieks when a rider leaps over them, and when the rider turns, Tyrion charges and cuts the horse's neck so that the rider and his horse fall together on top of Marillion. What a jerk. Tyrion then buries his axe into the man's neck and uses the opportunity to crush Marillion's fingers. He just stomps on him with a boot and advises him to play dead. He breaks his fingers. He's like, "Yeah, and I'll play dead." Tyrion just doesn't like Marillion. Marillion's like singing songs and kind of messing with him and stuff. And then when the fight happens, Tyrion like drops a horse on him and stomps on his feet. And he's like, "Yeah, take that, singer." Tyrion's a jerk. Lannisters are jerks. All right, whatever. Pro Lannister people get mad at me. I'm not anti-Lannister. Moving on. He's being a jerk. Okay. The singer has several broken ribs and 4 broken fingers, and on his playing hand, and his wood harp is also destroyed. Marillion takes fine shadowskin cloak from the clansman chief, which Tyrion later wins from him at dice. Yeah, Marillion likes to gamble, this guy. Well, the wounded Rodrik and Willis Woad remain at the Bloody Gate to recuperate. Marillion asks Catelyn to continue with her to the Eyrie. So he goes all the way up to the Eyrie. Lysa's favorite, and he becomes her favorite. Marillion acquires a new wood harp from the Eyrie because Lysa likes him. When Tyrion tells him to make a ballad about how he was not allowed to choose his brother Jaime as champion at the trial of combat, Lady Lysa Arryn allows Tyrion to select Bronn, who proceeds to drop a statue on poor Vardis Egan. Yeah, during the is this how justice is done in the Vale scene? I just re-listened to it. That's a good scene, dude. When she's like, he's like, hey, I want to confess. Tyrion's like, I want to confess my crimes, and she goes, okay, confess. And he goes, says all these stuff like, oh, I once blah blah into whatever, he it's like, I was really mean to servants once, and starts saying his actual crimes. And she's like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm innocent of that crime. She goes, well, if you don't want to confess to killing Jon Arryn, irony, Lysa did it, spoilers, or to ordering the cat's paw to kill Bran, then we're putting you back into the Sky Cell, and we'll find a smaller one with a slope. And he goes, is this how justice is done in the Vale? And he goes, I want a trial by combat. And she goes, okay, who wants to do it? And all these guys are like, I'll do it. And then she's like, Vardis Egan, you want to do it? And he goes, I don't want to beat up Tyrion Lannister. He's that's not a true fight. And he goes, yeah, Vardis is right. Let me have a champion. I choose Jaime. And they're like, yeah, we're not letting the Kingslayer come up here. And then he goes, Marillion, see, this is all about Marillion still. Marillion, write a song about how they won't let me have my champion. And Marillion's like, yeah, not writing that song. Plays a Bobby this harp, I'm on her side. Having remained at the Eyrie, so this is now Tyrion leaves, right? Having remained at the Eyrie, Marillion becomes the favorite of Lysa and her son, Lord Robert Arryn. Singing the young lord to sleep each night. Lysa rewards him with costly clothes, golden armoring, and a belt studded with moonstones, and a fine horse, and the favorite falcon of her late husband Jon Arryn. Wow, the Lord of the Eyrie, of course. However, Marillion sings songs that mock other lords at the court and becomes disliked by many at the court. Yeah, you're getting lavish gifts from Lysa, and then he's like, oh, and that guy smells. People are going to be like, I don't smell, then I don't like you. Marillion is present at the wedding of Lysa and Lord Petyr Baelish at the Tower of the Fingers. During the feast, he performs the song The Vow Unspoken and Seasons of My Love. The Season for Love. And two hearts that beat as one. Two hearts of beat as two of that's that song, right? Okay. And he then sings a body version of Milady's Supper. God, that's a body. During the betting, Marillion, drunk on mead, strikes an old blind dog and tries to seduce an unwilling Elaine Stone, who is Sansa. Sir Luther Brune, who has been given orders to protect Sansa, prevents this and wounds Marillion with his knife. Yeah, so he shows up in Elaine's room and he's like, so Elaine, the singer, sup? And she's like, yeah, I don't want any of this. And then Luther Brune shows up like, dude, I eat apples like you for breakfast. And Marillion's like, I don't know what that means. He's like, figure it out. I'm Luther Appleyear. Ah! And then he leaves. That's not how the scene goes, but it would have been funny if it was. All right. Lysa's final song. Dun, dun, dun. After everyone returns to the Eyrie, so that was all at Petyr Baelish's Drury Castle or whatever, right? And the Drury Hold. And now they're back up at the Eyrie. Sansa feels that Marillion always sings to her when he performs during supper. So when he performs at supper, he makes eye contact with Sansa, right? And she thinks that he's constantly undressing her with her eyes. Ugh, Marillion, back off. Bad touch. Marillion claims to be writing a new song about her called The Roadside Rose. Sansa learns that Lysa banished the two serving girls and paid for telling, quote, lies about her favorite. Yeah, it probably wasn't lies. He's probably creeping on the serving girls. And Lysa, you dumb, and Sansa, you okay. All right. Lysa sees her new husband Peter kissing Sansa at the Godswood. Uh-oh. So she has Marillion bring Sansa to the High Hall. By the way, that's where the moon door is, by the way. Whoop, wrong one. Moon door. Hey, come to the High Hall. Which one is that? That's the one with the big murder door. Can we meet somewhere else? No. Dang it. All right. Oh God, where were we? She blames Sansa and accuses her of being interested in Marillion. You kissed my husband. Also, you're into my singer. I'm not into either, bro. Back up. Lysa threatens to throw Sansa through the moon door, and to prevent them from being overheard, Lysa has Marillion perform the song "The False and the Fair." That's a little on the nose, right? Peter arrives to save Sansa from falling and reassures Lysa. He's like, I don't love Sansa. I don't love you either. Peter then throws Lysa through the moon door, telling Sansa that Marillion killed Lysa. So Marillion's there playing the music, and Peter shows up, and he's like, I have only loved one person, your sister. Ta-ta. And pushes her out the moon door. And then music stops, Sansa's like, and he goes, he did it. Okay. Moving on. His fingers. After his arrest, Marillion is tortured by Mord. I love Mord. If you guys want to know what's the difference for Mord, just ask. All right, I'll cover Mord. I love Mord. I don't get a chance to talk about the Vale much. Being blinded and according to Servant Maddie, losing 3 of his fingers. First they get broken, now they get cut off. In return for Marillion's confession, Baelish allows them to keep his life confined to the sky cells. Yeah, we'll cut your eyes out and chop your fingers off, and we'll let you live in the sky cells. Can you just kill me? Confined to the sky cells, Marillion sings 15 different songs. On the wiki, it actually has a list of all the songs he plays. And I did re-listen to that chapter, which is pretty good. But I wasn't going to say them all. If you want, go find out 15 songs. He played a bunch of songs, okay? A lot of sad songs. All right. No matter where she is in the Eyrie, day and night, Sansa thinks that she can hear Marillion's rich, sad singing. Lord Robert, sweet Robin, if you will, is unable to sleep at night, and he wants Marillion to be executed by being thrown out of the moon door. Yeah, I mean, because the guy hasn't had a bad enough day, right? Sweet Robin. Peter tells Nestor Royce, High Steward of the Vale, and his son Albert that Marwyn Belmore, that Marillion murdered Lysa. See, after learning that she intended to send him away. As Elaine, Sansa also tells the nobles that Marillion had killed Lysa. Baelish and Marillion confess to them that he had killed Lysa out of jealousy. Or Baelish has Marillion do it. His eye sockets are covered with a bandage, and his hands are gloved during the meeting. So Sansa cannot see his wounds. Jeez. According to Nestor and his cousin Bronze Jan Royce, Lord of Runestorm, according to Nestor, Bronze Jan will want to question Marillion as well. Albert recalls that Marillion had mocked him and his father as pigs in a song, and Marwyn complains that the musician had called him Sir Ding Dong. I believe the Belmores have a bell on their sigil, so it's actually kind of clever. Sansa later assures Lord Robert that a guilt-ridden Marillion has died by walking out of the sky cells based on the information from Peter, but Robert insists that he can still hear Marillion singing even after he died. Robert has come to hate singing since his mother's death. Miranda Royce, here we go, Randa, tells Sansa that she once slept with Marillion before Lysa's death, and that the singer had been skilled with his fingers. Miranda's great. I love Miranda. It's like, hey, whatever happened to Marillion? Oh yeah, he killed the Lady of the Vale, and we pretty much tortured him to death. Yeah, he was a good lay though. Okay. Sounds good, Miranda. All right, that was it. He's dead. So let's do the differences, right? So differences. Well, some major ones. In the show, they started off super close. Then they ended it by giving him the story of an unnamed traveler singer from the book, and ill in pain. They do an ill in pain on him, and that ended him in season 1. Okay, so what did I just say? So they give him the traveling through the mountains of the Vale scene, right? And then they transport him to King's Landing because that scene does exist in the book, but it's some unnamed singer, some unnamed tavern singer who was doing it, right? But I guess they didn't want to cast another tavern singer, and they weren't thinking about later seasons. So they're like, don't we have a singer? Yeah, we'll take Marillion, pop him into King's Landing, and give this storyline so, you know, he can kill somebody who we recognize. So maybe, you know. So that's it. So they splice his story with this unnamed tavern singer, and that's why in the show he dies right away. Well, he gets his tongue cut out right away. It's, believe it or not, a better fate than he would have got if he stayed in the book story. With okay, and just like that, he's out of all the Vale plot. And without the creepy singer to blame in Lysa's Moondor flight on the show, he's super creepy in the books, dude. Peter and Sansa tell the Lords of the Vale that she took herself out, that she just jumped out on her own, right? She was grief-stricken and because they don't have Marillion in the show anymore, so they can't blame Marillion. I guess they could have came up with another singer and done that, right? Or just a completely different character. It doesn't have to be a singer. That's kind of the only difference, but it's a pretty massive one, right? Like, sure, there's only one difference. They kill him or they get him off the show really early. Yeah, but that difference causes a million other differences because he doesn't stay in the Vale. He's not part of the whole thing with Lysa going out on the Moondor. He doesn't try to creep on Sansa, all that stuff. So half his story is cut, right? Because they give him, like, they take him out right at the end of season 1. Also, not sure if this is important, but Marillion is the name of the British neo-prog band formed in 1979. So his name might be a reference to this rockin' prog band. You gotta love neo-prog. It's also kind of punky. I listened to some of it. It's pretty good. That's it! Marillion! Thank you guys for watching. That's it. What do you think of the book version? What do you think of the show version? What do you think of Marillion? And yeah, he had a rough go, didn't he? He got tortured. And got his eyes plucked out. He got the really bad treatment. And yeah, and also I kind of glossed over it, but there's some that Sweet Robin still hearing his singing. It's kind of like some like ghost stuff, right? Sweet Robin. People have hinted that Sweet Robin might be a little bit of a warg. So maybe he's got some I hear it in my dreams type stuff. Make him fly. I love Sweet Robin. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Which smaller character do you want me to cover the difference of? And are you excited for Lynn friggin' Corbray? I'm covering them. Finally covering them. So yeah. You guys have a good one. And peace.